Taking her out.
Okay, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the show, or welcome to the show if this is the first time you're seeing us / hearing us. Episode 34 of the show. We get together once a week and we go over everything that needs to be gone over. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, erickandbradshaw@gmail.com, erickandbradshaw@gmail.com. How's it going, man?
Fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm good. Chilling.
Chilling like a villain?
Chilling.
It's one of Bradley's days off, so if you can hear in his voice, he's a little bit happier today.
Yeah, I've had 3 cups of coffee.
Whoa!
3 cups of coffee today.
We're gonna have a toilet break here in a few minutes.
Yeah, right. So if you need a toilet break, everybody take your toilet breaks instead of just holding it for 45 minutes. We'll just take the toilet breaks.
Take the toilet breaks. So what's new in Brad's world? What do we got going on over there?
I've been stretching more, like in the morning and the evening.
Good job.
Doing my stretches. Yeah, it's nice. I still feel like my back. I feel like what I need is someone to like tie my wrists together and like string me up.
Yeah, what are those?
A couple feet off the ground, and then tie my legs together and pull them down.
What are those things called?
I don't know. And then it's like I don't know. It's like I'm thinking of like a medieval torture device.
No. That's what I'm talking about. And they you got 2 guys on each end, like.
Yes, and and stretch me. Stretch me, and then, but then at the same time, I want them to twist me as well, like twist one way and twist the other way.
Isn't that like, I'm imagining, isn't that in the Addams Family? And like, it's the wife like all bound up like that, and like, he's like cranking it down, and she's like just enjoying it, like getting tortured, like, right? Isn't that in the Addams Family? And like the husband and wife, he's like clanking it down, and she's like, No? Nothing?
I haven't seen The Addams Family for probably like 23 years.
Well, I think it's time you watch The Addams Family. It's a great movie.
Oh God.
We're not adding to your stressful movie list that you have to watch.
Yeah.
I know that's a big thing for you. You get so stressed out. Not a movie. You act like it's fucking mowing the lawn or something like that.
Yeah. It's stressful. But I'm just saying, like, that's what I need. Oh, and then I need someone to, like, put me down on the floor with, like, a giant, like, roller pin for, like, rubbing dough and just rub it across my back, like, like a huge human being.
Yeah. The fun thing we do at our household every once in a while is we lay down on the floor and then we have the little one, like, walk up your back. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That works for me because I can't get massages. I'm way too ticklish. If people can't touch me, I get really weirded out when hands touch me. I just can't. I warn people at work. I'm like, where they're like, "Oh, you're ticklish," and I have to like do a serious sit down. Like I'm like, bro, I'm telling you, I'm so ticklish that if you fuck with me, I am not liable for what happens to you because I cannot control my hands. Like I'm telling you, if I'm holding a wrench and you grab my side. There is and it's not like I'm not threatening you like I'm gonna like turn around and chase you. I'm saying if it's in my hand, I'm gonna fucking jolt and you very likely could get pelted in the face or my elbow might hit you. Like it's a real fucking thing. Like I've pelted girls like in bed, like sleeping that have like wrapped their arm around me like in the middle of the night and like I'll fucking jab him right in the fucking face. Like, fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you can't touch me. Don't fucking touch me. So I can't get massages. So the only thing that works is the little girl's feet that I don't know why it doesn't tickle me. But it's like less, I don't know. It's like people's hands. There's like intent to your fingers. And so it makes me, I don't know. It's like I can feel it. But a foot, it's like there's less intent. You know what I mean? I'm not waiting for the fingers to like grab. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how to explain it. I'm extremely ticklish, and I can get a massage right on the neck, like right on each side of the neck. I can get that. That's like the only part you can touch. If you work any part of the back, fuck no, I can't touch my back. So it sucks. I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, Intent to Your Fingers is also the name of a new band I'm starting. It's like a kind of folky. It's like folky, but like
It's a good
punk.
name. It's a good
Yeah,
name.
it's like folky punk with a little bit of rap and rock and reggae. It's my new band. But oh yeah, I used to walk across people's backs all the time when I was a little kid. I've done a lot of back walking in
A
my
lot of
day.
back walking.
Yeah. Have you ever got a massage?
So
I've got one.
So the only it's been attempted hundreds of times, and it never works. Except, and I don't know
By
how.
professional?
No. Okay, sorry, I misunderstood your. No, of course not. Because why would I go pay someone money when I know I can't get the massage? Like, it's impossible. It can never happen. But there is a loophole to this, and I found it out randomly. And we're just going to go ahead and go straight down the R-rated part of the show right off the bat. Is there is a fucking exception to the rule is when I'm on drugs. I don't know why, but if I do like harder drugs, I'm not ticklish anymore. Like, it's fucking weird. I don't understand what it is, but if I'm high, not ticklish at all. You can, yeah. Yeah.
I don't like people touching. I don't like people touching me either. So if you're in a strip club and some stripper touches you, you just fucking start.
When it's sexual, I'm not ticklish around my groin. I don't know why, but if it's sexual, I'm not ticklish. But if it's on the back, if it's
oh yeah,
it's getting hotter and hotter in this house. It started out cold and it's getting warmer and warmer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, that's fascinating information.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Why did I start talking? Oh, I just need someone roller pin my back and then string me up with a medieval torture device and twist me around like a rag doll. However, the stretches have been working and helping with Brad's poor back. And also, there's another thing that's going on. Jesus Christ, phone. I have two beds, so I've been alternating beds.
Like a pair of boots.
Yeah, it's crazy because one, I have a queen size spring mattress that I got for free that's just sitting on the floor, and then the other one is a $1,000 foam mattress, quick king size foam mattress that I have that's on like that has a base on it. But I've just been sleeping on the free queen size bed on the floor, mattress on the floor. I don't know. It's nice. It's a rich person thing. If you have two beds in your house, you can just flip flop around.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Not saying I'm rich. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. So for the show, I made a clip of the Ruby Ridge segment from episode 4 and the Maura Murray segment from episode 6. God, even just saying that name out loud just fucking brings back flashbacks. Yeah, and it was fun. It was great. I made a Ruby Ridge clip when Erick did this whole Ruby Ridge thing in episode 4 of the show. 30 episodes ago.
That was episode 4.
Yeah.
Damn, the 30th anniversary.
Yeah. It was crazy, dude. Because in rewatching the clip, I was dying laughing. Because in the beginning, I don't think this is in the clip, but it's in the episode. You're like, just hang on, just let me get through these notes. This shouldn't take more than 5 minutes, okay?
Yeah.
And then,
and then it turns into 45 minutes later.
Yeah, 45 minutes later. And then at one point, you're just like, we do not live in an anarchist society. If you think we live in an anarchist society, fuck you. I'm like, oh, and that's like 40 minutes later. I'm like, oh my God, dude, Jesus. So I made that a clip just because I knew that Ruby Ridge, people would actually search for that on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then I went to do my little pump and dump on Reddit. So what I did was I searched some Reddit true crime pages, and then I just searched on Reddit Ruby Ridge and saw the top Reddit subreddits that came up. And here's where I didn't think it through. But the third most popular subreddit that came up when I searched for Ruby Ridge was r/libertarian, the main libertarian Reddit page. So I posted it on there without making the connection that everybody on there would 100% be on Randy Weaver's side and not your side.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So there was then
have
a lot of
people knocking on the door like, "Hey, motherfucker."
Yeah, so then there was a lot of comments being like, "You guys fucking are ridiculous. Like, you guys are uninformed, and there was no crime committed by him." And da 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 da. Da. And then I'm on there doing paragraphs back at these, like doing damage control back to these people. But
That's awesome.
Of
I
course,
didn't know anything about this.
Of course, fucking the libertarian page would be on them. Would be on Randy Weaver's side. They're like, there's no crime committed. And I'm like, well, the selling of the guns. They're like, that's not a crime, even if the government wants to say it is. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it is. Well, you're just arguing with dumb people. Like, there is a crime.
Yeah. So, anyway. And then some people, I posted on some pages, and one guy was like, thanks for the clip, man. I remember being in Sandpoint before that, seeing Richard Butler come around trying to do recruiting stuff, but I didn't know it was connected to Ruby Ridge. I appreciate it. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Hey, thanks for watching, man. And another guy was like, yeah, I live on the mountain right behind Ruby Ridge. Thanks for sharing this video. And I'm like, yeah, man, we're both from Sandpoint. And he's like, oh, sweet, man. Yeah, a bunch of my friends are out in North Dakota, too. I'm like, oh, everyone's coming together on Reddit.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
Right. Yeah. So that's clip's doing well. It's at like 250 views. The Maura Murray's at like 60, but my bet is that over time the Maura Murray's going to surpass the Ruby Ridge for sure. But I don't know. I just did that and it was interesting. It was funny. Just, we do not live in an anarchist society. If you think we do, fuck you.
Something
oh my God.
that happened in
you
my life.
Fired up.
So something that happened in my life that somehow ties into. I almost stopped you there because it ties into that whole thing about the breaking the law thing. So do you remember the? Didn't I tell you guys about the kid stealing the mail? Like there was someone that went down our block and just stole mail, and they found the kid, arrested him down the street, and he had like a bunch of people's mail, and he had my mail in it. Here's a check from my title company. Okay, kid went to prison. They called me the other day and they're just like, hey, we're just informing you that, we just booked him out of jail. It was the jail that called me. And they're like, hey, this is the Washington County Jail. And we're calling you because you're listed under case blah, blah, blah as a victim. And, we're just following up with the case. He's been convicted of fraud and felony fraud. And we just sent him to prison. I'm just like, damn, like,
wow,
don't steal people's fucking mail. I didn't even have to go to court, nothing. Like, they wanted me to go to court, and I just fucking, it was like, unless you're fucking gonna make me go to court, I'm not fucking going to court. And
smart. But it's just like the state, maybe like the state.
The state went after him. Yeah. It was the state against that kid, and fucking sent him to prison for that shit, for fucking felony fraud, just for having a check of mine. Which is super cool. But the way I tie that in is like those libertarians would have said the same thing. You know what I mean? If they would have killed that kid, they would be like, he didn't do anything wrong, And they'd be like, well, he stole the check. Well, the government makes these fucking bullshit rules, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. It's like, no, there's laws for a reason, you fucking idiot. Like, God.
Hey.
I feel like I am a libertarian. Like, I side with these people. But like, when you're just straight up, everyone does this. It's the mob mentality of like, you pick a side and you refuse to see any argument against that side. You know what I mean? You're just blind. You're blind to any, not everyone, but most people. They pick a side and it doesn't matter what information you give to them. They're just like, nope. Well,
I was trying to explain to them because, I'm like, they're like, there was no crime committed. And I'm like, well, selling the guns was a crime. And they're like, it's not a crime, even if the government says it is. If there's no victim, there's no crime. And I'm like, yeah, okay. But then the whole libertarian thing is you just want to be left alone. Just government, just leave me alone.
No, and I feel like I get that.
A lot of people are like that.
I get that, but we can't live, you have to accept at some point that we don't live. Anarchy doesn't fucking work. You know what I mean? You have to have government. This is fucking, animal fucking house or animal farm fucking, we've been debating this shit forever. Like, you need government. Fucking have to have government.
Yeah, and then I was trying to say, I was like, well, he was running around drawing attention to himself. Maybe I'm sure there's a lot of, anti-government slash prepper slash off the grid people who are living out there that don't draw attention to themselves, that fly under the radar. That's the whole thing. But when you're running around town drawing attention to yourself, then, you know, you're going to get a spotlight put on you, which is what happened.
Yeah.
Don't draw attention to yourself.
Like, yeah. I'm not saying
you're asking for it.
that I think everything was like hunky-dory with the police and everything like that. But I'm also saying you can't just excuse, you know, just blindly just be, oh, he didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, he did. You know what I mean? And it wasn't just the shotgun. It was when he got pulled over, you remember, by those two fucking cops on the highway. And you know what I mean? He, like that whole oh, you tricked me good, motherfuckers. You know what I mean? He's not just this innocent fucking dude. Like, he wasn't.
Well, yeah. And if you want to fly under the radar, then you're sending letters off, just firing letters off to...
Yeah,
anyway.
They're fucking crazy. Sorry, we've already gone through this whole thing. Yeah, I've already been fired up about it. But if you want to know, that was episode, what episode? 4. If you want to go back, 4. Listen to episode 4.
Or just watch the clip.
Or the clip. Or, yeah, just go to YouTube, watch the clip. You'll see the whole fucking spiel about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, then yesterday, I did something yesterday where I we have a friend here in town who has a house here, but he's not currently here. Mm-hmm. But he needed an electrician to go to his house and do some work. So they were like, "Can you go meet this electrician and hang out in the house, you know, while he does the work?" Sure, I can do that. As long as it's my day off, I can do that. So I go over there yesterday, and if the person's listening, this is gonna be the first time they're hearing about it. But so the electrician's like, "I'll be there at 2:00. So Brad shows up at 1:50, right? And then the electrician shows up at 4:30. So Brad just hanging out there waiting for the electrician. Then the electrician, this was just kind of a weird thing. Then the electrician gets there at 4:30 and he's fucking looking through the fuse box, taking panels off, looking at the breaker box or whatever it is inside. The power's all still on in the house. Then he's drilling in it. Drilling in the fucking breaker box. And I'm across the house or whatever. And then boom! You see this huge spark go off in his face. Pow! And all the power goes out in the house. And he's like... and he's like, oh, I didn't know I was that close to it. Man, I didn't think I was that close to it. He's like, that was a nice 240, 240 shock or something like that. And we're like, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I just didn't think I was that close to it. And I was like, whoa. Anyway.
Some fucking
that was kind of weird.
un-OSHA approved fucking electrician work going on, that's for sure. I like it.
2 hours late, first of all.
So he was just rushing. He's like, nah, we don't need to be safe here. We can just fucking start get the drill. Woo!
Yeah, I just didn't think you should be fucking with the fuse breaker box or whatever without the power being off first. You might as well just
that's
hit
what
that.
I mean is he's fucking on speed
But it
mode.
was like,
we don't have time to be shutting breakers off.
Oh, yeah, and then it was like, pow, and you saw the flash. But then after that, you could smell it in the air, too.
Uh-huh, yeah,
and
yeah.
I was like, holy fuck, dude. Anyway. That's what Brad's up to.
I almost died once, fucking, from electricity. I didn't know about it.
I hate it.
But and I'm not that good about electricity. I try to like get into it, but once I start like watching YouTube videos about it, once it gets like past like basic ideas of electricity, I just get fucking lost, and I'm like, I don't get what the fuck they're talking about right now. Like,
me neither.
And anyways, so I know basic shit, but anyways, it was like I just started at this company I work for, and I'm like a nervous Nelly. It was so much bigger than anything I'd ever done. You know what I mean? And this was the biggest job we've had since my company's had since I've started this certain job site we were at. It was just huge crane, fucking all these subs, just all these people. It was just this chaos, huge project, and fucking. I'm a nervous little Nelly, trying to like prove myself at this company and fucking and I'm like, dude, I'm like a week in or like 2 weeks in, and they put me with this dude who's like a fucking. It was funny at this job site for a few years. They'd put all the new guys with this certain guy because he was just a fucking asshole. You know what I mean? So they'd like put the new guys to like break him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like they'd put him with him because he'd be so he was our operator. And he'd just scream at people. He'd open the door of a machine and just, what the fuck are you doing? Like, get that shit over fucking there, like, come on, fuck. And you're just like, you know, and just start running. And he'd fucking, and he was like he was so hard on machines. So you just like come flying up roads, you know what I mean? On like, just fucking beating the shit out of machines. So it was like just chaos, this dude screaming at you. So anyways, I don't know what we were doing, but I think we were setting up spider boxes and baloney cords. And he's like, go plug it into all this So we had this temp power fucking thing set up. And it's just like, you know, 2 4x4 posts in the ground with 2 4x4s across. And then just all these boxes, just not permanent shit. You know what I mean? Just like temporary job site power shit. But it's like all these boxes. I don't know what these fucking boxes are. You know what I mean? There's just all these boxes. And a bunch of them have big fucking lever switches on the side. You know what I mean? And like, so obviously it's like badass power. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like fucking... Yeah. And I'm running and he plugs in and then he's like 200 feet away, this guy, and he's like, fuck, and he's screaming across the job site. He's like, fucking go to the panel and fucking turn it on. And I'm just like, okay. And I run up to this panel and fucking, dude, I'm like, it won't turn on. You know what I mean? Like it won't fucking go up. And I'm like, there's no lock on it. I'm like, I don't. And I'm like, run back. I'm like, dude, it won't fucking turn. And dude, he fucking starts freaking out. He's like, fuck it, go to the fucking panel, fucking turn it on, you piece of shit. And I'm just like, ah! And I fucking run back up the hill and fucking grab it. And I just fucking force it in. And fucking boom. And nothing fucking happens. And I'm like, I run back. I'm like, it's on. Nothing's happening. And he's like, motherfucker. And I'm just like, oh my God. And then whatever. Then we go do something else. And he sends me somewhere else. And then the next day, we get there and like we're doing our morning fucking ritual of everyone staying in a circle. We're going over the job site and the electricians come over and they're like, we don't know who fucking turned that switch on over there, but you almost fucking killed yourself. They're like, you were a quarter inch away from the connector or whatever being inside. They're like, if that would have connected 100%, you would have died. And I'm just like, what the? And then I look at that motherfucker. I'm like, you motherfucker. Like you fucking almost killed me, you son of a bitch. Like, oh, I was so pissed. I was like, you fucking son of a bitch.
Jesus.
Sorry about a little snuck in secret story time. I fucking snuck that one in.
Yeah, that's craziness.
Yeah. Sorry, I fucking side railed you. I don't even know what we were talking about. It had something to do with, we're talking about electricians drilling holes in boxes.
Yeah. Blasting. I don't like electricity. Oh, yeah, like a couple summer, when I moved into this house, like, everything was, by the time the construction people left, after I had already been living in it for a couple months, there was one thing they didn't do, and it was put this outlet in the wall. Like a brand new outlet was kind of just sitting on the kitchen, and then there was the empty hole in the wall with the wires coming out, and they got the job 99.9% done and didn't do that. So for the next few months, it just sat there. And I just used other outlets, and then I was like, I gotta figure out how to put this thing in the wall, and it took me like a day to figure it out. And then, but I was so paranoid the whole time. I'm like, barely fucking touching it because I'm like, I don't want to blast myself here. Like, I don't know. I don't like dealing with electrical shit.
I'll deal with that shit, but once it gets like complicated, like I don't know. I just like I don't get it. Like I'm just like I don't understand. When they start talking about like volts versus like, and they're like, okay, well, if you're running it this amount of volts, blah blah blah, and then it just turns into fucking Linus or whatever. I'm like, you've lost me. You fucking lost me. Like, I think I kind of understand how 3-phase works. I've watched a bunch of videos on it. I'm like, okay, I get it. I get what you're talking about. But then you'll see sheets and it'll be like just jargon numbers and dudes are right. You know what I mean? Like figuring something out, and I'm like, I don't even get what he's doing right now. Like, this doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Yeah, I agree. And then even there's another thing where there's like a cable coming out of like an appliance, but then it's like chopped and there's just wires sticking through, and then there's like a cap on it. And someone's like, that's really easy. You just have to do like you just have to rat tail it or some shit like that. And I'm like,
yeah, I'm obviously a lot better at electrical than you are. But that's.
So it's just been like that for the 2 years that I've been in this house, because I'm like, I don't know.
House electrical is fucking easy, man. You just go go get yourself a little electrical tester, and then you'll see if a wire's hot. And then if it's hot, you go to your fucking breaker panel and fucking start flipping switches till you find out which one's that one, and then you're good to go. You fucking switch the breaker off. You fucking start touching it, and you can start licking
No,
the
even
wire.
when the breaker's off, I get worried.
You could take the breaker out if you're that worried about it. Then you could just fucking pull that fucking thing out, and then it's no connection. Like,
yeah, or just not do it.
If you're worried about a ghost flipping the switch on you when you're in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah.
Well, speaking of power, I actually I'm having some power issues here at this house, but it's my own design. I'm feeling festive. Fucking did the lights on the house. I'm all excited about it.
Did you?
Yeah. I feel like such a fucking dad. You know what I mean? Out there fucking hanging Christmas lights. Fucking shit gets fucking spendy. Just to do like the perimeter, like apron, like gutter rake, fucking, just around the gutters and the fucking,
Yeah.
Dude, fuck, that was like $100 just right there. But I went a different route. I didn't want to do. I think the fucking big bulbs look so much fucking better when they're all like uniform and they all like stick out the certain way. And so like I'd spend a bunch of time doing it. But they sold them in 25-foot deals, and fucking, it took me like 8 packages just to do from one corner up and then back to the other corner, and I skipped the back side of the house. You know what I mean? Just doing the curb appeal side, and fucking took 7 boxes or something like that, and fucking, so like over $100 just to do that part. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, okay, we'll do this. We'll do the fucking, pilasters out front, or the columns out front. We'll do the fucking fence. We'll do some trees, and then I've already spent $130, and I just got 3 little shrubs and the fucking perimeter of the house. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm not spending $500 in fucking lights. Like, fuck that.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah. So next year you're just gonna have a ball of lights that you have to unstring, but.
No, I gotta.
I think people just buy it one year and then it lasts them for the rest of their fucking life.
I mean, that's the idea, and that's what I kind of told to the girl we'll just build every year to where in a few years we'll have lights to just fucking light up the neighborhood. But right now it's like, fuck, I got this like dad fucking push going in my head of just like.
Yeah.
I'm going to beat everyone in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? I'm going to have the best looking lights in the neighborhood. I'm going to be the most festive. And right now the neighbors are beating me. And they didn't go that hard. It wouldn't be that hard to like knock them out of the water. You know what I mean? But they got twice as many lights as I do. It's like, God damn it, I want to go fucking do more lights. But then, yeah. But anyways, Jesus. I don't have any plugins. I have one. I realize I do have a GFCI on the outside that I forgot about. But I was like, I don't have any fucking plugins on the outside of the house. So I was like, well, I'll just run them off of so I have 2 light bulb deals. So I was like, well, I'll just use the light bulb deal and just plug into that. You know what I mean? And use that so I don't have extension cords running from inside to outside. And, so I have one light bulb on my back porch that I was like, okay, well, I can plug one in here, and then that runs to a fucking breaker. And then I have another one on the corner of the house in the backyard. That's a fucking, floodlight type deal with the sensor, and it's like built in. It's not like it's like a built-in little sensor deal. And then so I unplugged that. I took the lights off and then plugged those little, plug-in light bulb things. You know what I mean? And like screwed that in, and and then I was like looking at the back of the sensor thing, and I'm like, well, if I just crank everything to 100, I was like, it should just stay on, right? Well, it fucking doesn't stay on. And I was so pissed last night because I like flip it on and I'm like, yes, everything kicks ass. And then 10 minutes later, it fucking shuts off because it's hooked up to the fucking dimmer thing. Yeah. Or like it's like a floodlight. Like if you walk up to someone's house and the fucking lights kick on.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's what it's on. So my whole house just fucking, you'll go walking through the backyard and fucking all the Christmas lights come on. And then fucking 10 minutes later, all the Christmas lights shut off. I was like, God damn it. God. So now, but then right at the end of that last night, like in the dark, I like saw the GFCI. I'm like, oh shit, I got an awesome little plug in here I can use. So I got a little bit of rewiring to do right after this episode. I'm gonna go do some wiring.
You should just leave them up. You should just leave them up all year and just unplug them. No, because the other dads don't. The other dads don't do that, so you can't do that.
Yeah, that's ghetto. Can't do that.
Okay. My house still has all the little clips up there.
Well, they've another cool thing is they've engineered new light bulb deals which I was really happy about because I bought all these clips and I really hated them once I started like playing with them. Like these things don't even work. This is stupid. But they have these new bulbs have little hooks on the side of them that fucking work perfect. So I don't even need anything. They just slide right onto the gutter and then they slide right onto the fucking T-metal that runs up the rake of the roof when you leave the gutter. And it just worked perfect. It just looked fucking absolutely perfect. My fucking perimeter looks money. Like every light bulb is perfectly spaced, all facing directly up. Like it just like perfectly level, perfectly plumb everywhere. I was very proud. Very proud.
Dude, it's what's weird? I don't know how this happened, but I feel like just watching TikTok, I feel like the movie Elf has become like the Christmas movie for my generation. It's like, that's what I feel like.
Yeah.
How did that? And I don't feel like it was like that. It like snuck up.
It's either
me. And I've seen the movie I've seen it like once.
Yeah, and then I would say generation. What's the generation before us? X or whatever. Is that the generation before us? Whatever comes before millennial.
Yeah.
I think theirs is going to be Die Hard. I think it went from Die Hard to Elf. You know what I mean?
I guess.
Wouldn't you say Die Hard's the most famous Christmas movie? For adults, not for fucking children. Because obviously for children, it's going to be that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. That has to be the most famous one.
People just say that Die Hard's a Christmas movie because it happened at Christmas time.
But the fact that so many people say it's a Christmas movie, well, now it's a Christmas movie. Like it's
I guess for guys.
It's like herd mentality there.
Yeah. I don't think there's
there's Santa Claus isn't in it. It has nothing to do with that. But
I don't think if a bunch of old ladies are getting together to watch a Christmas movie, I don't think they're watching Die Hard.
It's some.
I have no idea.
Probably in North Dakota, I bet if a bunch of women met up, they might be watching Die Hard. North Idaho?
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe. Not down in California. Not over here.
No. You know what's crazy that I've learned?
What'd you learn?
Think about this. Okay.
I'm thinking. Got my cap on.
Okay. People DoorDash Hooters. People Uber Eats from Hooters.
I've never had Hooters, so I don't even know. I mean, I get I think I know what it's all about, but is their food not good? Like, is it not? Are the chicken wings not bomb? I get what you're getting at, and that is funny. I see the irony or whatever the word is. I see it. I just don't. If the wings are bomb, I totally could understand. Like, no, I'm still getting fucking wings.
People DoorDash from Hooters.
Okay,
if it was like an open mic night at a comedy club, I would just go up and I would just say, people DoorDash from Hooters. And the crowd, it'd be silent. And then there'd be like a little chuckling. And then people would just, and then I would just get off the stage. It's like, I can't believe people do that. They DoorDash. Think about it. They
Have you ever
DoorDash
had Hooters?
Hooters. Of course I've had Hooters.
Yeah, I haven't. Is it good?
No, it's not good.
Okay, you only go there to see hot girls.
And people DoorDash.
Okay,
from Hooters.
I get it. I like it.
Just if you're driving around, just think about it, and you'll just start laughing. They DoorDash from Hooters. It's like DoorDashing from the strip club. You're like, I like their eggs or something. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
They DoorDash from Hooters. It's just the greatest thing ever. If you DoorDash from Hooters, fuck you. If you think we live in an anarchist society, fuck you.
You know, there's I feel like we've talked about this. We've probably talked about it multiple times on this show, but there's a fucking total Portland thing here. And dude, it has happened to me so many fucking times. It's like every few months you have this conversation in Portland. Just every few months, you'll be in a group of people, and someone will be like, either it starts two different ways. Either it's like, hey, what you want to go to a strip club? Let's go to a strip club, or something like that'll happen. You know what I mean? And they'll be like, oh, have you had the fucking steak bites at the Acropolis? Or you'll be like, hey, you want to go get a steak? And they'll be like, have you been to the Acropolis? Which is a strip club that is famous for their fucking steak bites. And like the owner owns a chop house, and he also owns a farm. And so he runs a cattle ranch, runs a chop house, and runs a strip club. And it's this Portland.
Oh my God.
It's this Portland fucking staple. Which for some reason I feel like I think they went under during Corona. I think the guy died and then they shut the business, which is like this huge loss. And then not only that, then they also claim they have the most taps in Portland, which is pretty cool. Their bar is fucking dope. They have like 120 taps. Just the whole bar is just fucking taps. So they just have all these different fucking beers on tap. And they do steak bites. But it's fucking bananas at this place because you'll go there and you can sit at the fucking Satellite and eat a steak dinner, and there'll be a girl, like literally like, she'll get on top of your plate, like shake her ass. And it's like, it's fucking bananas to watch.
Oh my God.
And what's also crazy is like, you'll see people go there that are literally there just to eat. It's just like, what is happening right now? You're in a strip club and like, you'll see like 60-year-old people come in, like man and wife, and just get a table and just be eating. And they're just like, see, they keep it like a little quieter. It's not like it's half restaurant, half strip club. It's fucking bananas. It's real weird.
Babe, it's half restaurant and half strip club, okay? They have the most taps in the whole city.
It's funny. It's a weird thing in Portland. Like a lot of couples, like older, it's like it's a different mindset here. Like people look at strip clubs different in Portland than they do anywhere else. It's like not as taboo here. It's like a normal thing to go to a strip club. Especially the Acropolis.
I agree.
Yeah.
The Acropolis.
But a lot of people like dude, it gets tiresome. The conversation.
Do they offer DoorDash?
I don't know, but it gets tiresome of just so many times people are just like, "Oh, you had the steak bites at Acropolis?" It's like, "Oh my God." And they're really not that good. Like they are good, but it's like stop bringing it up like it's a fucking like it's Morton's Steakhouse. You know what I mean? Like you're only saying that it's bomb because there's titties. Like it happens every 2 months. It's been brought up to me probably 25, 30 times. Are you reading Acropolis, Portland, Oregon?
Yeah. I'm looking.
Yeah, and it's this weird looking building, like a check or a striped building. It's just weird. It's weird. Right down the street, they just built there's also this Quentin Tarantino theme thing going on in Portland with strip clubs. So they have.
I like that.
They have probably it's the most popular one here in Portland. It's called and I know we've talked about this on the show before. It's called well, their second one, they just built the second one called From Dusk Till Dawn, but the first one's called fuck, I can't remember it, but it's super popular. It's a vegan. I don't know why it's tied into the Quentin Tarantino. Like you wouldn't even know. They just like name themselves. Oh, Casa Diablo is the name of the first one, and it's like they're like stealing the whole From Dusk Till Dawn fucking theme going on, and they call themselves a vegan strip club, and they are fucking super popular. It's packed there 24/7. I don't know why we're talking strip clubs. Sorry, we went down that. We're talking steak. Now we're talking oh, you brought up Hooters. I guess that's right in line with it.
Yeah, people DoorDash it.
Okay, I get it. Yeah.
Dude, that's so stupid.
If the Acropolis did DoorDash, I fucking guarantee you it would be a hot item.
But the difference is the food is good, allegedly.
Yeah. There's a salad bar. Everyone talks shit on the salad bar. They're fine with all the other food, but the thing Portlanders will talk shit about is the salad bar, because there's just a salad bar in the middle of the room that just sits there, and you got all these naked people, and people just be going up like grabbing tomatoes out of this fucking thing that's been sitting there for 4 hours, and they're just like eating this salad, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's fucking gross," and I'm like, But you just you're eating steak. You have no problem with that. But the salad, but I honestly can't wrap my mind. I mean, I kind of get what they're saying. Like the food's just sitting in this stripper room, and then you're like eating the food that's just sitting around all these nasty girls.
Yeah, I don't think that I'm really down with food in the strip club, but people like legs and eggs. People are like legs
and eggs, baby. Legs and eggs.
We got to
Shake
go for
and bake,
breakfast. Baby. Oh, God. Anyway, if you DoorDash Hooters, you're an idiot.
Can you pilot for 20 seconds?
Yeah.
I need some more coffee.
Okay, go get coffee. Oh. Erick's gone. Now we can talk shit about him. Expecting father. He said something. I didn't hear him. He's expecting father. Expecting father Erick. Hopefully he'll come with some good rants about being a father and changing diapers and not getting any sleep. He's going to be on the show like, oh man, I haven't slept so long, my new baby. It's like, yeah. Anyway, expecting father Erick. Non-expecting father Brad is still hanging out. I have a 6-year-old, actually, believe it or not. Jesus Christ, there's other people walking by in his apartment or house or whatever. I have a 6-year-old, believe it or not. However, it is a pit bull, not a human being. And now Erick's back.
We ain't got no coffee, goddammit. I thought we had coffee. Oh. So what were you talking shit about?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing. What you got? Do you have something?
Just some ideas. It started with this Dogface 420 or whatever fucking dude's name is, but it's like a thing now that I'm seeing, and I'm trying to figure out, maybe you can help me with this. Is there a way to see, you see the shadow of my dog just whacking its tail?
Yeah, I do.
I had a little doggy drive by. This, so they did that, and then like I want to know the analytics of these, if you get on YouTube right now and look up Dreams by Fleetwood Mac, it's like at 200 or 25 million views or something like that. I want to know what it was before that. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure it was probably at 2 million, and then in a few months it got an extra 20 million boost or something like that. And I couldn't figure that out. I was trying to, but I wasn't looking up Dreams, which I probably could have figured that out because it's become such a such a phenomenon. But there's a thing on TikTok where they just keep bringing back like old music, and then it becomes viral. Not so much like the Dreams thing did, but it's like right now what's going on TikTok. I don't know if you're seeing it, but How Bizarre is like fucking blowing up.
How bizarre.
How bizarre.
Yeah.
And ooh baby. And so, and you just see it everywhere. And I was looking up the video and I was trying to find the analytics because I'm like, no way was the view count what it is now. You know what I mean? Like, and if you Google How Bizarre, the like third one down is on TikTok. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So it's become it's starting to become this phenomenon, and there's multiple songs like this that just I should have wrote more down because I know it's not just How Bizarre. It's like all these, and all these new kids, they've never heard that fucking song. You know what I mean?
It's kind of annoying, yeah.
But I don't know. But then then there was a second part of this, like breaking this down in my head was. When Napster came out and you have Metallica fucking talking mad shit, you know what I mean? And just like, fucking internet's ruining this shit. Like, now you have these bands that are like, the opposite thing is happening. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, they've spent so long talking shit about the internet stealing their music. Well, look at what the internet just did for fucking Fleetwood Mac. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, just exploded them to a whole new demographic. And I guarantee you ain't gonna hear fucking Stevie Nicks talking about fucking fuck the internet stealing my music right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because she just made a shitload of money off of people essentially stealing her music. You know what I mean? Like, and then it's the same thing with fucking How Bizarre. You know what I mean? These guys aren't gonna be talking shit about Napster and fucking all that crap, not getting paid. that their fucking views just exploded. You know what I mean? Like they're on their fucking they're on the last they've skated all the way down the mountain and the cliff is right fucking there. They see the cliff. They're like, okay, here it goes. No one's ever gonna hear this song again. You know what I mean? It's about done. And then boom, TikTok grabs it and fucking whoop, fucking right back up to the top of the hill. Now they got another 10-year stretch before of downhill.
Yeah.
And like, how happy are bands when TikTok grabs their fucking song? You know what I mean? Bands from the 90s that were like, people remember us? Holy shit, Greg, get out of the basement. People, they're playing our song again. The fucking, so much so that the How Bizarre guy, he's actually dead. The fucking lead singer, he was 40 years old. He died of some fucking rare blood disease. But I don't know. It was just this thought process I was having about how fucking stoked I bet bands are when they see that shit hit on TikTok. And whereas before, I bet you a few years ago, if you explained what TikTok was to bands and we're like, oh, they're going to play music and people are going to like sing along to it, I bet you so many bands would have been like, fuck that. You know what I mean? You ain't using my goddamn music to fucking, you know what I mean? Like, you pay me for my goddamn music. And now, like, now that their fucking views are skyrocketing, I guarantee they're all like, oh, never mind. That's cool. Use my music. Please use my fucking music.
I hate it. It's
what
stupid.
Do you hate? Do you get the thought process I'm having there? Like,
yeah, but it's just annoying that it's like, it's just kind of annoying that like they didn't know about it until
no, but
it becomes
you can't,
a TikTok
you can't
clip.
blame kids for not knowing. You know what I mean? Like, you know how many fucking 60s and 70s songs me and you don't know that that people that were listening to the radio are like, oh, fuck yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, we don't know that fucking
Yeah.
song. Just like how Bizarre. And, every generation can say that,
Yeah.
up until about 1940. You know what I mean? Fucking every generation can look at the next and be like, dude, I've been listening to fucking Elvis since you were a fucking kid, bitch. You don't know any of the B-sides. You know what I mean? Or,
Sure.
or all these fucking bands. You know what I mean? It's how the world
and then
works.
in 10 years from now, it'll be like, there you go, and people are gonna be, oh, this is from TikTok. I remember this song from TikTok.
Yeah, like, but whatever, bro. Fucking,
I know.
There's it's like when Guardians of the Galaxy comes out and fucking plays all these 70 songs, and they're like, oh yeah, fucking, that's that song from Guardians of the Galaxy, and then some fucking 60-year-old dude's like, that fucking song was the song of my childhood, motherfucker. Like, that is not from Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a reviving of shit.
It's like when
But that's interesting because a lot of artists hated it when it was Napster and it was all the internet stealing, and then now it's like there's no other way to go except for the internet.
Yeah.
You're
And this
kind of
there was something else kind of on the lines of what we were just talking about is it's the same, like, I don't know, it's just a funny meme I saw, or like Facebook set of comments that played out was when Stranger Things was like all fucking happening, and someone's like, oh, that's the dude from fucking Stranger Things, and they're like, how dare you fucking Samwise Gamgee didn't fucking travel across Mordor to be known as the guy from fucking Stranger Things. You know what I mean? And like, it's the same argument. And then someone else is like, fucking the Goonies. And then they brought up the Goonies, and they're like, he wasn't fucking in the goddamn Goonies to be known as the dude from Lord of the Rings, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And you have like a 3 generation of people knowing that dude from 3 different fucking things. You know what I mean? Our generation knows him from fucking Lord of the Rings. Generation X knows him from the Goonies, and fucking Gen Y or whatever these new ones are fucking, oh, that's the guy from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
What's that guy's name, real quick? Just for if
Sean
someone's
Astin?
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, just a.
Yeah, he's from Rudy too.
Okay, I don't even know what Rudy is.
It's a football movie. It's fucking great.
Well, of course I wouldn't know what that is. I don't watch that shit.
Rudy.
I don't watch fucking sports movies. I think that's the corniest. The corniest of all genres is sports movies.
No.
Remember the Titans and shit like that? It's like, dude, I ain't watching
Disagree.
that shit. Yeah,
It's very romantic.
No, it's dumb. It's dumb.
It's great.
Oh, you know what a good sports movie is? The best sports movie, and you're gonna hate this one. A lot of people are gonna hate this one. Maybe not. Maybe you'll agree with me. Dan Days of Thunder, dude. That movie is dope as shit. Remember that movie?
Is it a racing movie?
Yeah, NASCAR movie. That movie's dope with
No.
with fucking what's his name? Fucking Mr.
Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise. Dude, that movie was dope as shit. I loved that movie.
No. Remember the Titans is a good fucking sports movie.
Days of Thunder is better than fucking Remember the Titans.
So is Miracle.
Hands down. Yeah, Days of Thunder. You can put both those movies together, blend them up, and present them, and they're still not as good as Days of Thunder. Days of Thunder is dope as shit.
Okay, well, it might be. I don't think I've ever seen it. But
well, then how you talking, boy? I've seen both movies. I've seen both fucking movies, and I'll put Days of Thunder up higher than that.
Interesting. I love a good sports movie. God damn it! I forgot what I was gonna say.
Damn it. Do you know that song, I'm a Loser, Baby? I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you kill me? I found out right before, what's the lyric, right? Is that Beck? Yeah. The lyric right before that, he's, na 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 na. That lyric right there, I've always, that's one of those lyrics that you just, no one really knows what it is, and you just put words in.
Yeah.
You just put words in there. Oh, you saw that? And it's actually fucking Spanish for I am a loser. And I'm like, fuck, man. I've been saying random shit in there forever. Like, oh, on the cat's the door. I'm a loser, baby. So why don't you kill me? I was like, God damn it. Learn something new on TikTok every day.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, hang on. I got to open some shit here.
Uh-oh. He's opening some shit. He is opening some shit. I'm recording. Are you ready?
I haven't stopped recording the whole time. So you're gonna.
This is gonna be a real pain in the fucking dick to edit all this shit. Okay, we are back from a unexpected and unplanned. We just had a bunch of fucking issues. His fucking Zoom cut out for like 30 seconds, and then we restarted. We've already apologized once. And then we restarted and did a whole rant for at least 10 minutes. And then I realized I wasn't recording. So, sorry, guys. We are having some real technical fucking issues. Again, we are still accepting fucking editing positions. There's not much money. And so I don't know where we need to jump back into. I can't tell where we were at. We were talking about movies being released in theaters and then also released on HBO Max at the same time. And I think we're going to have missed everything we just talked about that.
It's okay.
And I don't know, do we want to get back into it? I don't know what we do from here.
No.
I don't know. Okay, so we're just going to skip that. What Brad was getting at with that, we'll just do a real quick synopsis, is he was saying Mortal Kombat was a really good movie, and that's what he's really excited about with HBO Max coming out with.
Look,
and then he said Wonder Woman.
Brad I like going to the movies by myself. Okay.
And
I didn't know this until I went to the movies by myself, and it was great. So then last year, 2019, when the world was good, I went to a shitload of movies by myself. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Joker, Ad Astra, Bad Boys 4 or 3, like all these movies. And it was a great time. And now they're trying to take it away from me, these fat cats down in Washington, by simultaneously releasing movies on HBO Max for 2021, which is what Warner Brothers is gonna do. Just because they say COVID's gonna keep these movie theaters at 25% capacity and they're not gonna make any money. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know what the point is. It's just, I think it's stupid.
Yeah, and it's hard to get us worked up because I got worked up about, I was pissed off about Wonder Woman. I really wanted to talk about Mortal Kombat, and he wouldn't let me talk about it. I said it was.
You don't think Godzilla vs. Kong is?
Oh yeah, I think that's going to be dumb. And then we talked about how Hollywood just can't. Like, what is happening over there? Like, what is fucking happening over in Hollywood to where they can't find a good script? They're like. What is happening? Why can't we write a good movie anymore? Like, why do we get like one a year of like an original idea, an original fucking movie? Everything is, we got Space Jam coming back out. We got Mortal Kombat coming back out, which I'm not talking shit. I'm pretty stoked about that, but still, that's a remake. We got just nothing but remakes. Just nothing but like
Yeah.
no new original ideas. Just
Matrix 4.
Matrix 4, just bullshit. So dumb.
No.
Like what?
It is dumb. I think people can write good movies. I just don't think they can be like, okay, how do we sell out movie theaters for this movie?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's like say like Kevin Smith writes like a Clerks movie or something like that. No one's gonna go to the theater to see it. Like they're just not.
Like a remake, or you're saying the original idea of that?
Like the original.
Okay, because I was like, I think if they made another Clerks, it probably would. I mean, they're probably making another Clerks right now. Like, of course they are. Why wouldn't they make another Clerks? But we're gonna have Goonies 2 next year. We're gonna have
stupid
Care Bears coming out. It's just gonna be a bunch of bullshit. We're not getting anything new ever again. It's just recycled bullshit.
No. Yeah, it's just recycled bullshit.
I guess South Korea we're gonna just start getting all the good movies are just gonna start coming out of South Korea. It's just they're gonna start winning Best Picture every year, and that's where we're gonna have to rely on good writers. Is South Korea is gonna be pumping them out? Isn't that where
if it's
Parasite
good,
came
good.
from?
Yeah,
South Korea. Okay, yeah, the good Korea, not the bad Korea.
Right.
Or maybe the bad Korea, not the good Korea, because aren't they like killing it with COVID? Like North Korea is just knocking it out of the park. They're just like, fuck you.
Wait,
guys.
what do you mean? What's COVID?
I know, right? That's what Kim Jong-un is saying.
Yeah, exactly. You know, what I was trying to think about this week, they say COVID came from a bat, right?
Mm-hmm.
A bat.
Mm-hmm.
It came from a bat. So you're telling me that there is a chain reaction from inside the bat to NFL games being delayed?
Yeah.
That's what makes me think this world is not even real. It came from a bat.
Yeah.
And now they're releasing fucking Matrix 4 on streaming services because of something that came from inside of a bat. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
That sounds fucking crazy to me.
Yeah, maybe this is all just like a big Ed TV. Isn't that the one where he lives in a bubble? Is that Ed TV, or am I think what's the one where they're just filming
Truman
his life?
Show?
Truman Show. Yeah. Maybe you're just in the Truman Show, and they got you over.
Yeah.
They got you over to North Dakota because it's a lot easier to fucking, bubble off North Dakota than it would be, if you were living in Vancouver, fucking Canada, or whatever the fuck that is. They're like, no.
I hope not. If everybody's watching me on their TVs,
and they're just like, dude, we got him to fucking believe that a bat fucking locked this shit down. They're like, everyone in the world is just laughing their ass off right now, Brad. Like, oh my, what an idiot. He fucking
Plus they know all my search histories and things.
Yeah. They're just giggling away.
Oh, no.
They're just giggling away watching Brad.
Oh, that's gonna be terrible. Okay, do you want to do an Ask Eric?
I'm
question?
into it. Let's do it. Let's get heated.
Okay, this ain't gonna be easy, but I'm
That's what you said
interested to
about
see
the last one. These are all easy.
Whose side you take?
I'm really good at picking a side on something that I don't care about and arguing it to the end of the earth.
Okay, are you recording?
We're recording.
Okay, dear Eric, I have been on a series of dates with an established professional. I got the feeling that she just viewed me as a money pinata. Okay, so that's the name of another band I'm going to be starting. It's called Money Pinata, and that one's just straight rock music. Okay, wait. Okay, I got the feeling that she just viewed me as a money pinata, even though I imagine she out-earns me. We are both late millennials. We established values of equality, reciprocity, family, etc. before we even met in person. We had a great time on our first date. The bill arrived, and there was no casual dance back and forth over who might pay. She never even looked in its direction. No worries, I got it. Okay, second date. We also had a good time. The bill arrived. Same thing. This time, I let it sit on the table for probably 15 minutes before I placed my card in the folder. We decided to meet again. This time, she asked if I would like to split the bill with her. This behavior confused me. I called her out by saying, "Are we on a date or are we friends meeting for dinner?" She insisted we were on a date. I said, "Well, this is intriguing. You want to go Dutch on the third date, but not the Wanting to leave without creating a conflict, I simply paid the bill and expected not to speak to her again. The following week, she invited me to brunch. Everything went fine, but hey, now I'm curious about what is going to happen when the check arrives. Sure enough, she doesn't even look at it. I let it sit on the table for 30 minutes before the waiter returned wanting to cash it out. I paid the bill and thanked her for inviting me out, ... to pay for her meal. She looked confused, as if I had broken some unspoken rule of dating in which the man must pick up every check. I have been rejecting her calls and texts to get together ever since. I'm curious to know what you think of this.
Yeah, what a little bitch. A little bitch boy. Yeah, I got opinions on this. This isn't hard at all. Fucking men take checks. Shut up with your fucking inequality bullshit. Fucking, I don't give a fuck. Men pick up checks. Men pick up checks. Pick up fucking checks. Not even on dates. Fucking stop being little bitches. Fucking, your friends go out, fucking pick the check up. Like, just do it. Like, fucking do it. Like, why is this whole... I disagree with all... I love buying my friends fucking meals. I love buying girls meals. Like, if you're out at a restaurant, fucking take the check. Be a man. Like, that's what you do. Even with friends, be a fucking man. And then your friend's gonna pick one. Always be the first to fucking go for the check. Never let it sit there. You fucking put your card on that check no matter what the situation is. You're paying. Always. Me and you go out to dinner, I'm fucking paying. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it goes. Be a fucking man. Like, be a man, pay for it. Especially with a girl. I don't give it. If it comes down to fucking, well, we're gonna both work to, blah, 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 inequality, fucking blah, 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 women's rights, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, men pay for it. Like, don't even, if she said split the bill, you should, right there, you fucked up. No, I got it. You know what I mean? And then why you're even thinking about it? No, you pay. Especially once she said, no, we're on a date. Okay, you're dating. We've assigned from that. So stop letting the check sit there. And she was trying to be nice by splitting the bill. Like, okay, we don't want to make all financial. I get where she's coming from. She's like, okay, you must split. Blah 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 blah. No, you just put your foot down 100%, and I got the bill every time. Does not matter if she makes more money than you. Doesn't matter. Fucking, you got the bill. 100%. 100%.
Even if she makes more money than you.
100%. And then if you guys get together, okay, let's play this scenario out. Let's say you date and date and date and date. And it's more financially hard on you. Well, in the end, you did your due diligence to get a sugar mama. You know what I mean? Like that's then in this situation, that's what you have to do to get into the situation where financially things are going to be better in the future if you end up with this person. And you're just going to have to take that financial hit for a while to where then now she's going to put the fucking, $60,000 down on the house you just bought. And you're just like, okay, that's 60 grand. That $10,000 I just spent over a year in fucking, or, whatever, that $1,500 I just spent in meals. That just really worked out because she's put the down on a house. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that is in America, men pay for meals. No questions asked. Why are we even talking about it? Why'd you even write this fucking email? You're a retard. Like, men pay for meals. Do you not agree? Do you not? 100%. Even if, and they're
100%. No, I don't agree 100%.
Even if
maybe 95%.
Even if you're friends with a girl and it's it doesn't mean if you pay for a meal for someone, it doesn't mean you're gonna have sex with them. It doesn't. That's not what's implied. What's happening? Yeah. What's happening with you paying the bill? It's showing that you got your. You know what I mean? It's just this. You're the man. You're the man at the table. You're the alpha at the table. You're taking care of it. It's your responsibility at that table to take care of that. Like, and even with friends, with girlfriends, like people you're friends with girls, there's not sex attached to that bill. It's no, I'm taking the bill. With friends, you should be like, no, I got it. And then then the other person's like, dude, no, I got it. And you're like, no, I got it. And then he's like, okay, I'm going to take the next one. But on the next one, you're going to do the same thing. You'll be like, I got it. And no, you fucking pay for it. Okay, you get it. And the women, they have no part of this conversation ever. 100%. I don't give a fuck.
So would you be against, say 3 buddies are going out and they just say, we'll just each pay for ourselves?
Yeah, I don't like that. No, I get.
You don't like
that? No, just wait till the next round.
You hate it.
Unless it is obvious that there is a person who is financially hardshiped in the group that they don't want to pick up the bill for everyone on the next round. Like they can't. Then there's an exception there. But if everyone's financially fine, no one's going to fucking not be able to pay their rent next month, which is should be pretty obvious in a group. You know what I mean? Like if people like if you can't if you're not going to be able to pick up the check next round for all your buddies, then you shouldn't be going out to begin with. So that's your own fucking problem. You know what I mean? That's not anybody else's problem but your own. Yeah, I'm definitely a firm believer in the way that shit play. The restaurant etiquette is a fucking etiquette. You put your fucking fork upside down on your plate when you're done. You know what I mean? Like there's etiquette to the way all that shit works, and the bill paying is part of that etiquette. There is a man-woman relationship there, and okay, now let's play if you're friends, and you pick the check up, and let's say there's you, your buddy, and one of your buddies is a girl. There's 3 of you, 2 men, 1 girl. And you're definitely friends, 100% friends. Like no sex is attached to this at all. And you all go to a restaurant, and then you, as me, I'm gonna grab the bill, and then now the argument starts, and you're like, no, I got it, and the girl says, no, I got it. Now the same rule will apply to where you can pick it up next time, and then okay, and then you're not gonna feel bad when you do that thing over again, and you go to grab it, and she's like, no, it's my turn. You're like, okay. I said, but there has been a very concrete agreement set up there in that exchange of just like, I pay, now it's friend. But if it's dating at all, 100%, you pick up the check. Always, you always pick up the check.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the same. Yeah, I just don't. I'm not into this. It doesn't. I don't know. I'm not into the equality fucking thing with. It doesn't mean that I'm telling you that you have to cook and clean and that's all you get to do for the rest of your life. But as far as restaurant etiquette goes, that is a set in stone thing, and we don't even need to. We don't need to revamp this at all. It's a good system and it works. And it makes men. There's as much benefit in a man's self-esteem. It's not just to. It's like giving someone a gift gives you more than it actually gives the person giving the gift. You know what I mean? And that plays into that same thing. As far as a man-woman courtship, men need that. You need that I got the check thing. As a woman, as this empowered woman, like, no, I got the check. Give it to the man. Just like let him have that win. You know what I mean? Like, right? Do you not agree with that? Let him have that win. Even if you make more money than him, give him that. Give him that courtship deal to where so many things in courtship are just falling off. Don't take the restaurant thing. Don't take that away. Like, leave that for a man. Make him feel like a man. Give him that testosterone boost when you pick up the check. When he picks up the check.
Yeah. I agree. And it's nice pain. When I went back to Idaho, I went out with my buddy and his wife and their 3 kids. So you had at a restaurant table, you had me, my buddy, his wife, and their 3 little children. And as I waited until after everyone had told the waitress what they wanted for food, and then when the waitress left, I like leaned over to him and I was just like, just let me pay. And he's like, no. And I'm like, no, just let me pay. I'll pay. He's like, no, we asked you to come. And I'm like, no, it's okay.
Yeah, and feels
good.
But in that situation, that's between you and the husband or man in that situation. Like,
yeah,
no matter. I mean, I get when there's financial hardships. You know what I mean? But then you shouldn't be okay. Yeah. So like a few years ago, I went back to Sandpoint. Like 3 or 4 years ago, I went back to Sandpoint, and I went to a sushi restaurant with this girl and then her friends, and we were drinking and. Dude, we went all out. You know what I mean? And
sushi's expensive.
Yeah, that was like a damn near $500 meal between 4 people.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? And it was like, I really didn't want to spend $500 fucking dollars on an evening. But, it was like, but then there's a lot that comes of that. Like, so I met this dude that we all went to dinner with, and I was meeting this dude, and he was like he made more money than I do. He owned his own business. Like, and it was definitely easier for him to cover that meal or split the meal or whatever. But it was like, no, I put into play that thing. I know, like, in the end, it was my first time meeting him. Just because I did that, it all came back to me tenfold. Now that dude, like, loves me. You know what I mean? Like, just from that whole evening, you know what I mean? Like, and like, he, I essentially, like, job offers. He was like, he's offered me he's like, dude, if you ever come back to Sandpoint, he's like, I got a job for you. You know what I mean? And it's like, all that shit pays out. All that shit either pays out between men, like, if I split the check with it, you know what I mean? It's all going to come, but that karma is going to come back to you. And just, like, keep that. I don't know. I'm a firm believer. I love picking up people's meals. It makes me fucking happy. It makes me fucking happy. And even if someone.
So you're like a money pinata.
I'm like a money pinata. I will allow, like, sometime, like on that one, he's like, okay, if you got the meal, then I'm gonna get the tip. Which is that's a sketchy territory right there. Because that irritates me a little bit, because I am a very good tipper. And at a $500 meal, you fucking better tip good. You know what I mean? At any real, you better tip good. No matter where. If you're not a good tipper, go fuck yourself. Like, you're a piece of shit. Like, tip good.
Yeah.
Tip everyone. Tip good. If you can't afford the tip in the meal, you don't get to go out. You know what I mean? That's out of you. Yeah. You don't get to do that. You know what I mean? Like, so that's a hard situation. I will get fucking mad. And, like, I know a few times I've had to, like, I can't think of specific situations, but I know it's happened to me to where I've paid for a meal and someone's like, well, then let me get the tip. And I'm like, okay. You know what I mean? I'll give you that. Like, they're very, there's an argument about who gets to, but then, like, let's say it's $100. And then I pay for the $100, and then they put fucking $5 down. And I'm like, no, that's not how this fucking works. Like, you know what I mean? And, like, I'll have to fucking, like, sneak back over to the table and put more money down on the table. You know what I mean? To, like, no, I'm not leaving this fucking waiter or waitress, that just that just waited on us for 45 minutes to an hour at a $100 meal, and you're going to leave them a 5% tip? No. Always tip 20% and over. And if it's good service, you best be tipping over 35%. Best be. I tip. If you do awesome, if my drinks are fucking money, if you're nice, if you don't talk too much, if you, like, do it perfect, you deserve a good fucking. I've tipped people over 100% on my meal. Like, absolutely, I've done that. I tipped a dude at Jalapenos. My meal was $25, and I fucking tipped him $25. I was just like, no, you fucking killed it. You fucking killed that shit.
Yeah. I've done that too sometimes. Usually it's a meal that includes drinks, then I'm starting to feel generous.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, I don't mind the, hey, let me get the tip. Well, that's fine with me. Don't you think there's ever times where it's like, say it's like you're working with some people? This has happened to me multiple times.
Where
you're working with some people,
and
it's like, we'll no. It's like we'll go out to lunch, and then you say you get it, and then you go out to lunch the next day, then you get it again, then you go out to lunch the next day, and you get it again. It's like there has to be some sort of organization here. Because then you start feeling like it's not about I'm the alpha and I'll get it every time. It's like maybe you shouldn't get it every time.
That's different.
Yeah.
That's a little different. There's a fucking asterisk. There's a fucking the whole side argument to the way work works. Because
that in that situation you might be like, hey, it's your turn, motherfucker.
Yeah, I honestly side fucking deal here is with work. Now you totally. Either it does totally go back. I mean, I guess it depends on how good of friends you are with your workers, because a lot of times now it's everyone take care of themselves. You know what I mean? Like, we're doing this every fucking day. You know what I mean? We're doing this every day. We're all going out. Yeah. Like, no, just pay for your own fucking, everyone deals for it themselves. Because I find a lot of people I work with won't tip. And then so now I'm into that fucking issue of, like, you know what I mean? Like like, fuck, dude, you're making me look like an asshole here. Like, no, so I'll just cover my own. You can look like an asshole by yourself, and I'm gonna tip this person and just pay for my fucking meal. You know what I mean? So work, totally separate. And lunch is kind of totally separate. But
there was another time where I was going out on a date, and what we did is for some reason, we went somewhere and got a drink before we went to the restaurant. And they were like, let me pay for the drink we're going to have, and then you can pay for dinner. And I was like, okay. But I felt like that was kind of, I didn't willingly just like that idea, but I was just like, okay, if you want to, you know.
Yeah, there's a little exception there. A little, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then another thing with restaurants with me is, well, I have the problem everywhere, but definitely in restaurants too, where I can't pick where to sit. Like, it happens in movie theaters and in restaurants and anywhere really. Like, I always need the other person to pick where we're gonna sit. Like, pick our seating for us. Like, it's nice when the waitress tells you, you know, this is your table, but then some places are just like, oh yeah, sit wherever you want. And then I need the other person to pick, where do you want to sit? I'll sit anywhere. So that happens with me. And then another thing that I do, and this is something I've never heard of other people doing, but I do it, and I don't think there's any way to not do it, is I watch the other person's plate that they're eating from, and I time my eating so that we finish at the same time.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't do that. Interesting. Did you know
I don't see how you can't do that.
Did you know, like, in like etiquette, you're supposed to not finish your plate? Like, especially at someone's house, you're not supposed to finish your plate. You're supposed to leave food on your plate.
I thought it was the other way around.
No, you're supposed to leave. Like, in high-end etiquette, is because if you clear your plate, what you're saying is that they didn't feed you enough food. Is like, that's like etiquette. You're supposed to leave at least a bite of food on your plate, because etiquette-wise, it means that you are full and they've done their job as host to fill you up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And there's some people, they start eating like really, really slowly, and I'm eating a little quicker, so then I need to slow down so that they can catch up.
Yeah.
So I'll put my fork down, check my phone, take a drink, sit there, and it's all about timing. I'm timing it so that everything finishes at the same time, because what I don't want is, you know, for them to be sitting there waiting for me or me to be waiting for them. So I time the whole thing.
I don't know if that's like legitimately an etiquette thing. I'd wonder. There probably is like a, you know.
No, I feel like it's a crazy
OG,
thing.
You know, etiquette like deal about what you're saying. That's probably true, but I've never paid attention to it, and it doesn't bug me to finish before people or to finish after people.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Once food is in front of me, and in most of these situations, we're talking about like a decent meal. I'm done thinking about anything but this meal. Like, I'm happy and content with the food that's in front of me. Especially if we're at a nice restaurant, I'm just like, I'm on a 10-minute orgasm that I'm having in my own head, and I'm kind of zoning out everything. Everything just dulled down to 50%. The conversation we had, the ambiance, what's happening in life, and the other 50% is focused on, oh my God, I'm in heaven right now. Like, if we're out to sushi or something like that, I'm just every piece just I'm not paying attention to their plate. I'm in heaven with my plate.
Yeah,
I love food.
Also, really hate if it's ever like, you know, they bring everyone's food except for mine, or they bring everyone's food except for one other person's. I hate it.
They're not supposed to do that.
I know, because when you work in a restaurant, you want everything done at the same time, right? You don't want to have that delay. I don't know. There's a lot going on there.
Yeah, you're definitely not.
That I've learned
not supposed to eat if someone's not fucking eating.
Right, you're not supposed to, but that's tough. But yeah, you're not supposed to.
I like it. That was a good little push. Do you?
Yeah, I like when he's like, then I let the bill sit there for 30 minutes before I fucking put my card on it. That's fucking crazy.
Did we get through that one? Have we dissected that one?
Yeah.
Is that dissected?
It's dissected.
Do you when you ask me these questions, are you Have you read the response? Or are you just reading the question and that's it?
I briefly, sometimes I've read it.
Yeah, yeah. What did she say? Did you read this one?
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember what she said.
Yeah, yep.
Sorry.
We've kind of been on this women's rights thing. I think it's come up a few times on this episode, and it kind of ties into a subject that I don't know. I didn't really do any research. I didn't write a timeline out on this, but do you know what Annie Oakley is?
Annie Oakley, is she shooting with a gun?
Yeah, you knew that?
Competition? Yeah.
I didn't know this at all. I didn't know the name. I didn't know Go Get Your Gun, Annie, or whatever. I hadn't heard any of these things. I didn't know the story of Annie Oakley at all. How do you know that?
I believe I've just heard it in reference, like someone shoots something and they're like, "Damn, you're like Annie Oakley."
Well, and I guess there's a baseball term for when you strike out. There's like if you do something in baseball, it's called an Annie Oakley. It's if you throw the ball to first base and knock the first base out before he gets there, I think it's called an Annie. Something like that. It's called an Annie Oakley. Huh. It's like a baseball term or whatever. But anyways, I just listened to this whole podcast about Annie Oakley, and I was thoroughly impressed, and I should have done a timeline on it because I was jaw to the floor. Like, and then I'm like, how is this person not, how is there not a movie about this lady? How is this not like big in the woman's movement and like the equality movement? Because this bitch was awesome. Like, out of any woman I've ever heard the story of, I was like, this woman's cool as shit. I mean, this is Joan of Arc type shit. Like, this bitch is awesome. Fucking, she was born in the late 1800s. Just give you a rough deal of her life. And I was fucking stoked about it. She's born in the 1800s. First off, like, just crazy shit. You know, it's just such a hard time. She fucking, like, super poor. Like, there was like 4 siblings or something like that. 3 or 4 of them. They were so fucking poor that her youngest brother or sister or whatever got given away because they couldn't feed it. So they gave him to another family. And then she got given away to another family as like an indentured servant. Like, she was supposed to help on the farm and get paid for it, but they never paid her. And then they just like kidnapped her when she was like 12, like this other family. And they're just like, oh yeah, you can come work on our farm. And then once she got there, they just like, yeah, we ain't fucking paying you. And then just, you need to do all this shit. And then she wrote a book. And she just goes into in depth about everything in her life. And so if you want any information, there's shitloads of information on this lady. But you just had a super rough life. Ended up back with her family. They were struggling hard. Father died. She wanted to shoot. She stole their father's gun once and went out in the woods and fucking killed some squirrels and came back to try to help feed the family. And the mom freaked out and was like, no, you need to be a girl. You know what I mean? You need to do girl shit. You're not supposed to be out hunting and stuff like that. And then as time went on and shit got harder and harder, she just went back out and did it again and then started selling meat to a fucking butcher in town, or, a butcher to get money. And he paid her money to supply them with whatever, fucking da-da-da-da-da. And then she just started making money that way. And then some sharpshooter, when she was like 16, was coming through, and this was in Ohio, and fucking some sharpshooter, like, it was like the birth of this new thing to where like that was like traveling shows were like this new fucking thing, and the big hype was Western shows. Guys would go around and do trick shots with guns, and then people, it was like the circus. You know what I mean? It was like circus, and like that was entertainment. Movies hadn't been created yet. You know what I mean? Like that was entertainment. That's what you got. Like, and so some guy comes to Ohio and like fucking challenges everyone in the newspapers. He's like, I'm the best shot. No one in the state can beat me. And then so the butcher that she'd been selling the meat to is like, he paid her way to fucking challenge this dude, because he's like, yeah, this girl will. Like, absolutely, this girl will. She's the best shot in Ohio. Like, this bitch is ridiculous. Like, and that dude, the butcher dude, ended up buying her guns and stuff like that because she's just killing it. Just like amazing. And challenged them, beat this dude. And then just like, then her like fucking career. Then it was just a long career of fucking murdering it. Just best shot, like essentially arguably the best shot in the world. Like, and it did just had this incredible career and made way more money than any woman had ever made. Was the most famous woman of all, like at that time, the most famous woman of all time. She was adopted by Sitting Bull, the fucking chief, the Indian chief. Fucking called her a little sure shot. He fucking loved her. She met like every queen and king of all of England, of France, or the president of France. Fucking, they wanted her to be a fucking general in the fucking French army. Fucking everyone loved this girl. Like everyone. She like made like the money she made. It was like, yeah, she was hundreds of millions of dollars. Like in today's money, in like that day, it was like $1 million. But in today's money, it would have been hundreds of millions of dollars that she had made as a woman when women couldn't vote, women couldn't do shit. And then there's like this whole cute side of the story where at the beginning of her life, when she was like 17, she met another dude who did it, like a fucking traveling showman dude. And he fucking fell in love with her. And there's just this super cute love story. And they fucking were together forever, had like this awesome relationship for fucking 50 years. And he ended up becoming her manager because she was a better shot than he was. And she toured the world with Buffalo Bill, Buffalo Bill's traveling show or whatever. And fucking just a huge history of like awesome shit. And then when she died at fucking in like her 60s. She died of fucking well, let's back up a second. Right when she ended her career, then she went off teaching women. They said she taught some like 15,000 women or something like that how to shoot. And she was this huge gun advocate for women. She's like, women need to know how to shoot, take care of themselves. So she did all these camps and shit like that, helping women. And just like, dude, like everything about her life she was just bad as fuck. Like cool, like the baddest ass chick ever. And then her husband was like super badass dude too. And like their whole love story is just adorable. And then fucking at the end of her life, she died of some blood disease, which I guess sucks balls because it was like a super easy fix. Like all she had to do was like change her diet, but they didn't know this at this time. And she died of this blood disease, which she could have easily been saved if they knew anything. And then her husband, his name was like Frank or something like that. He stopped eating when she died, and then died 12 days later to starvation, like because he loved her so much. He's like, he's like, I won't fucking live in this world without her. And it was like the cutest fucking story ever. And like, yeah, look up Annie Oakley. And I guess she's in when Tesla or whatever invented the first essentially invented this part. He invented something that inevitably led to the camcorder, like shots or whatever, like with the whatever. And so you can actually see there's a video that was made of her, and it's like one of the first videos of all time is of her shooting. And they have like a 10-second clip, and you can look it up on YouTube. And it's like OG as fuck, but they have her shooting. And I guess she's just ridiculous. I haven't watched the clip yet. I've been meaning to go watch this clip, but I guess she's just.
What the hell did you watch?
What do you mean? I just listened to a podcast all about it, and I was like, this is cool as fuck. I was jaw to the floor. Like this story is super cool. I'd highly suggest.
Yeah, it should be a movie.
It was like I was like, how have I not heard of this? This is so cool. And how is this not like a poster child of women's, the women movement? Yeah. You'd think she would be fucking top of the heap, like coolest lady ever.
Sounds like Queen's Gambit. They should make a Netflix fucking miniseries. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, and I guess she was like incredibly good, like the best in the world.
That's crazy.
Like would do all these fucking like her and her husband would do all these things where he'd like have a cigarette in his mouth and she'd shoot the fucking yeah, they do all this like crazy dangerous shit and like fucking blah blah. Like she was just crazy good. Won all these competitions against men. Very rarely ever lost. And if she ever lost, it was by like 1 point. Like in her entire career, the only time she'd ever lose was like one mistake out of, there was like one she did where she shot without missing. Dude, there's a bunch of it. She set all kinds of weird records. Like without missing, shot like 5,000 clay pigeons in one day, and just like it was just crazy.
Without missing,
just like crazy. She's like the best shot in the world, and just like yeah.
I don't think I'd let her shoot a cigarette out of my mouth.
Yeah,
that would be terrifying.
Yeah. I don't know.
They should have made that a fucking.
It was cool. I should have done a timeline of her, but I don't know. I think
should have.
I think people should look into her. I think they should make a movie about it. We're making fucking Space Jam 2. Where's fucking Annie Oakley's movie? Like, come on. There's so many good stories out there, and you're making Space Jam 2. You know what I mean? There's real fucking stories out there, and That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. Space Jam 2, come to fuck on, you pieces.
But you get LeBron. It's LeBron.
It's gonna
for
be a
Space Jam
horrible
2.
movie. It's gonna be an absolute dog shit fucking movie.
You should protest it.
I am
and
protesting.
Say, where's the goddamn Ennio? Where's the goddamn?
Aren't they
Ennio
trying
movie?
to? I was listening to something else. Aren't people like bitching that they want the next fucking Bond to be like transgender
Idris
fucking
Elba.
like?
I don't know about that.
There's like all these people that are calling for like they want superhero. They're like, why haven't superheroes been? Why don't we have a disabled superhero? What? Like.
Okay, first of all, Daredevil's blind, you motherfuckers. That's a disability.
There we go. Good point.
Yeah.
Good effing
Thank
point. I don't know, people are ruining movies. In Hollywood, they're so bent over the ass by fucking woke people that's why we're not getting good movies, is because they got this checklist of like gay, black people, Asian people. You know what I mean? Like, we got to have all this shit. You know what I mean? This is all got to get covered. And it's like, well, and then they're just left with like, okay, so we covered all those bases. What do we plug it into? Well, how about Space Jam 2? They're like, good job. Fucking, you're hired. And it's like, what the fuck is going on here?
No, we need a gay, black, Asian superhero.
Yeah, retarded, gay, black, or sorry, mentally
if they want to
disabled.
they want to make the Black James Bond, which I'm fine with that. You know, if it's good, it's good.
Yeah.
But if you try to pander to that and then it's bad, it's like, well, why'd you do that? But if it's good, it's good. I don't know.
I have no issue with a Black James Bond. The issue is I know why they're doing it. You know what I mean? They're not doing it on merit. They're not doing it on a storyline. They're 100%. There's no fucking doubt in my mind the reason they're doing it. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're only doing it to check off a box, which is just ridiculous that this is the world we live in. That everything, like, you just have to cover these boxes or the woke community is going to fucking burn you alive. And it's just like, this isn't good for art. Like, isn't this what liberals are like kind of all about, is like good art? And isn't that what they're all about? Like, aren't we ruining art? Yeah, we're fucking ruining art. It's just like, so, I don't know. I want good art. I want good movies. I want good books. I want good stories. I want good shit. And this fucking filter we put everything through is not good for content. It's really bad for content.
Hey, fucking Matrix 4 is directed by a trans woman.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be just fan-fucking-tastic.
Well, because the original director of The Matrix was the man and now is a woman. So it's the same director for all 4 Matrixes.
Okay.
Matrix 6.
And I like when it's a natural and shit, like that doesn't bother. Like one of my favorite bands is a fucking tranny. But it doesn't play into the music at all. It doesn't play into the art at all. It's just like, that's what he did. She did what he turned into as she did. Just like he just wanted to be a fucking girl. The fucking songs aren't all about fucking transgender rights. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. So something else that happened. Speaking of all this kind of craziness, so somehow, the Pope's official Instagram page liked a picture of an Instagram model's like booty picture.
Nice. Somehow
this happened, and we need to investigate. What we're gonna do is investigate how this could have happened.
Oh my god.
Vatican asks Instagram how Pope's account liked photo of Brazilian model. The Vatican said it was seeking explanations from Instagram after Pope Francis's official account liked a picture of a scantily dressed Brazilian model. It is unclear when the photo of Natalia Garibaldi was given an endorsement by the Pope's verified account, but the like was still visible on the 13th of November before being unliked the next day, according to the Catholic news agency. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so if you're watching this video of the episode and you're in a workplace or people are around, you have 3 seconds before you close it. 1, 2, 3. Just wanted to say that because now the picture is going to be up on my video. It's an interesting picture. This girl who has 2.4 million Instagram followers is also reported to have joked, "At least I'm going to heaven." That's what she said, about the whole thing. The Catholic News Agency said an investigation is underway to determine how the photo came to be liked. A team of people manage the Pope's social media accounts. We can exclude that this like came from the Pope, and we have turned to Instagram for explanations.
Is it?
How did this happen?
Because I can't see your. I can't
happen?
see your picture. Is it the one where she's up against the locker? Is that the picture we're talking about?
Correct.
Yeah, she's got a booty on her. She's hot. Yeah.
I don't know how this could have happened. I don't know how this could have happened. We need an investigation by Instagram, aka Facebook, over how this could have happened.
Yeah, we know the Pope wasn't doing it. We know the Pope wasn't doing it.
Yeah, we know for 100% that the Pope wasn't.
Are people mad about this right now? Is this like a deal, or is it just people are just laughing that the Vatican's like, we didn't do it? That didn't happen. There's obviously it's more of a joke than people being mad at him. Because I think it's a good look. You know what I mean? Like, if it was a fucking, that little boy doing a makeup tutorial on YouTube, then we'd have a totally different conversation going on. That's a bad look. Like, whereas like they're like, oh, we finally got a fucking straight Pope. Awesome, let's do this thing. No,
I think what their thought process is like, it was hacked or it was accidentally liked. But if it's like, I get it. It's like, let's say the Pope's Instagram accidentally liked a random picture. Wouldn't it just be like someone's picture of the sunset or like a frog? But if it's that one precisely, then it's like, I think your Instagram account actually did like it.
Well, yeah, of course it did.
Yeah, but we need an investigation to figure out how the fuck this happened. That's what I'm going to start saying to Instagram. How did I do this? That I bet you he did it. Like you're saying, you said before, and I quote, you said like these old washed up dinosaurs don't know what they're doing on Instagram. What are those? Fuck, never mind. Those liver spots. That old liver spotted asshole doesn't know what he's doing on social media accounts. So I think he accidentally liked it, or purposefully.
Yeah, I think he accidentally. He's like, how do I save this? And he's like, no.
Yeah, and just double click. Yeah, that double tap, that sweet double tap. Fucking leads.
So does he follow her page? Don't you have to follow on it? And Instagram, it's not like TikTok, not like random things come across your page. You have to like.
But you can search. You can search for someone.
Okay.
And then like their picture.
Or follow them. Those are the two options. Those are the only ways that picture is going to come up on your phone, is if you follow them or if you search for that picture.
Search for them. Yeah.
But he doesn't follow her. Do we know this?
No, he doesn't follow her.
Does he follow anybody? Does the Pope follow people?
I don't know. I can look. I know I follow him on Twitter because sometimes he was saying some funny things.
Okay.
Let's see if he follows anybody. He follows nobody.
He follows no man.
He follows nobody. He's followed by 7.5 million people.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, he did something. He did something dirty.
Ooh. Jeez,
we need to find out how.
Yeah, I like it. That girl's pretty hot. She's got a booty on her. I'll tell you that much. Booty is like...
And it almost looks like she was in some sort of Catholic outfit.
Booty is blown up. Booty is such a thing. Like, I don't get why it's so in. Great. 10 years ago, booty was not the thing. It was like boobs have been the thing for so long. And now it's like just booty. Just all booty.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was the Kardashians.
Are they solely responsible for the booty thing? Her booty is...
Well, people would argue like a Jennifer Lopez or something, but that was nowhere near, I think.
The Kardashian butt is I don't even understand it. It's so big. It's so ridiculously big. It's bananas. It's great. Me. I don't know if it's great. I don't know if it's a little bit over the line of great.
Well, there's certainly a line there.
Yeah, and I think she's well over that line. I think she pushed it past that line. The thing's fucking bananas.
Well, Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
God bless America.
God bless America.
So there's this other thing that happened. And this is where Brad starts feeling, oh God, just trippy again. This is just hard for me to think about. Okay, so it all began with a group of friends renting a seaside home in California for the Independence holiday weekend. Okay, that's how everything starts.
A lot of books start that way.
It ended with one of the men arrested and in a hospital fighting for his life after he was shot by sheriff's deputies following what authorities say was an LSD-fueled rampage that left 8 people injured. Okay.
Okay.
So, and this individual is a engineer at YouTube. So, Betai Coffee, a 32-year-old San Francisco software engineer at YouTube, was arrested Thursday. Well, this was a couple months ago. This was a month ago or whatever, by Sonoma County Sheriff's deputies after he allegedly punched, choked, and stabbed friends, strangers, and authorities, then rammed them with a vehicle during his bad LSD trip. He and 5 longtime friends had rented a house in Bodega Bay, the coastal town that was the shooting location and setting for the 1963 Alfred Hitchcock film The Birds. Awesome. And arrived Wednesday for the holiday weekend. At about noon on Thursday, on the 4th of July, he allegedly took 2 doses of LSD and became delusional within hours. After reportedly taking 2 more doses, he tried to leave the rental home but was stopped by friends. That's when authorities say he snapped and began a violent rampage. To make his getaway, he allegedly punched a woman in the chest, choked a man, punched another in the face, and stabbed another with a pencil. As he drove away in a rental car, he accelerated towards one of the men who jumped out of the way just as he smashed the car into the home's garage. Suddenly on foot, he is said to have ran down the street to another home where he was stopped by a security guard. He then allegedly picked up a garden light and used a metal stake at its end to stab the guard in the chest. He is then said to have stolen the guard's truck and driven it at a man and woman walking in the street. The man was hit in the arm. The woman was violently hit and had significant injuries. He then immediately drove off the road and drove after another man and woman who were walking on a bluff. He aimed at the woman and hit her with the truck. After he drove into a home's yard, a sheriff's deputy and California Highway Patrol officer both arrived. He then allegedly drove the car at them, prompting the deputy to fire several shots. Upon hitting the patrol car, he continued to accelerate, and the deputy fired 5 more rounds, at which point his truck was stopped, and the deputy took Kofi into custody and applied medical aid.
Is the dude alive right now?
Yeah, he's back at work at YouTube now.
He's not in prison?
No.
How?
Hang on, wait. He was hit 3 times through the windshield by bullets. And one woman was flown by helicopter to a hospital. Her injuries were not life-threatening. Let's see. He's facing 2 counts of attempted murder, 3 counts of assault, and 1 count of carjacking. He's a Stanford-educated software engineer at YouTube, previously worked at Microsoft. So, the National Institute on Drug Abuse describes LSD as one of the most powerful mind-altering chemicals. Some people who use the drug can experience psychosis or paranoia. So that was the article when the event occurred. Another article I found was from like yesterday where he basically got off on these charges.
How? That's bananas. That's so crazy. Isn't there rules against meeting up in California? Wasn't he breaking that rule?
Yeah, well, that was on the 4th of July.
Dirty dog.
Here it is.
That was more than a month ago.
Oh, no.
Huh. That's fucking crazy. But I can defend him a little bit. I've been in that situation, and when people are trying to stop you from doing something, you just need to let them go. Let them go. What are you reading there?
Oh, I'm sorry. He's not off.
Yeah, there's
charges.
no fucking way.
Oh, fuck.
There's no way that is impossible. If he's off, then I've given up on all humanity because that's fucking crazy. But I will say there was this one time that I took a bunch of mushrooms, and there was like 10 of us, and we're all at this girl's house, and all of us are on mushrooms. And me and this other lady, she was like, I don't know, in her late 30s. We're sitting across from each other in this like big circle of people, and I'm frying, and everyone's frying, and everyone is talking at the same exact time. Like, this person next to me is talking across the circle to that person over there, and then all the way around the circle. Like, everyone's having a conversation with the person directly across from them at the same exact time. Like, the same fucking time. And I am just scanning through all the people like, why is everyone talking at the same time? And then I look at the girl across from me, and I'm like, are you? And she's like, I don't understand what the fuck is happening right now. And I'm just, we sat there for 10 minutes, and I bring it up. I'm like, why is everyone talking at the same time? Like, this is crazy talk. This is bananas. Stop fucking talk. And they all like look at me like, are you high as fuck? I'm like, I am high, but you're all talking. There's 3 people at all times talking at the same exact time, and I can't fucking handle it. Like, I can't deal with this right now. And so I go up to the bathroom, and I'm like, walk in the bathroom, and I close the door, and I'm like, these people are fucking crazy. Like, this is too much. Like, these people are out of their minds. I go to the bathroom, and I'm like fine, but I'm not freaking out. I'm having a good time, but these people are fucking stressing me out. Like, they're just stressing me the fuck out. Like, stop all this. And I'm in the bathroom, and all of a sudden I start hearing all these fucking voices. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And I'm like, what the fuck? And there's just all these voices like saying, like, Eric. And I'm like, and I open the door, and there's like 5 people outside the door whispering through the door, like, and they find it hilarious. And I'm like, you motherfuckers, like, stop fucking, like, what is happening right now? Like, why are you doing this? And they all start laughing. And I'm like, God damn it, you motherfuckers. So I just go outside, and I get in my car, and I'm like, I'm out. Fuck all you guys. I'm done with this party. And fucking, I get in my car, and then the whole party runs out, and they're like, no. And they're all screaming at me, get out of the car, you're too fucked up. And I'm like, get the fuck out of my way, get the fuck. And I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to drive people over. I'm like, get out of my way. Like, you're fucking screaming at the top of your lungs in the middle of the night in an apartment complex. Like, I'm gone. Like, I'm leaving. You're not stopping me from leaving this party right now. I'm not going back in that house. Fuck you. And I fucking drive away. And I can hear them in the distance like, no, like, you're going to kill someone. And I'm like, get the fuck away from me. And I fucking drive down, and then I'm on the street. And I feel like I've kind of told part of this story before, but I'm driving down the street. I'm on Division and Sandpoint. If Brad's going to know what I'm talking about. And it's like 3 a.m, dead. There's not a single fucking car except me and the car in front of me. And I get behind the car, and I'm thankful. I'm like, okay, I can just like focus on staying behind this car. You know what I mean? It's going to help me in where I'm going. And then about halfway home, I've driven about 10 blocks on Division. The fucking car gets about 6 inches tall and like 20 feet wide. And I'm just staring at the back of it like, what the fuck? Like, my vision just compressed and everything got really fucking fat. And I just somehow I make it home. I fucking make it home. I don't know how I made it home because my visuals got bananas on the drive there. Like, everything was super distorted. And I parked my car. And the only reason I'm telling the rest of the story, because I'm kind of done with the story, and then I lived in the crazy cat house, and then I walk in that fucking cat house, and I'm fucking frying, and there's just 40 fucking cats, and we just have this standing. I just stand there and fucking stare at cats for 5 minutes, and it was fucking trippy. But yeah, back to now. I know why that guy did that. Is those fuckers were all having a conversation at the same time, and he lost his fucking mind. And he said, look, motherfuckers, if you all don't stop talking to each other right now, I'm going to stab you. And then he went to the bathroom, and they all started talking through the door, and he fucking had it. And he's like, I'm killing all you motherfuckers are going to die right now. Because I know what it's like. If I had a knife, I would have killed all of them. I would have been like, look, motherfuckers, you fucking with me outside the door? Keep having your conversations? I'll shut you all up right now. I know that's exactly what happened. I know I was this close to fucking stabbing a security guard with an ice pick. I'll tell you that much.
With a yard lamp.
With a yard lamp. Yes.
Yeah, it said. So he awoke from a coma several weeks later, and he remained severely injured, including paralysis on his left side. His attorney says he feels terrible about the ordeal, and he's remorseful about the harm he caused to others, and it's affected his life significantly. Fortunately, no one except him was hurt bad. Him and his attorney struck a plea bargain that avoided attempted murder charges, but his no contest plea was to 11 separate felonies. He's now set to be sentenced in February, and it's unclear how much jail time he may face.
11.
Poor bastard.
11 fucking felonies. Oof. That's
but
why
no
you gotta.
Murder.
I mean, there's two things there,
dude.
Either that dude's like really is crazy at heart, and that LSD just like lets that all out, you know, and his guard's not up, you know what I mean, keeping on the straight and narrow. So either good on no one being hurt, and this guy's gonna go sit in jail for a while because he's. I'm gonna put my bet that he's probably a piece of shit at heart, and just has like, you know, he's like a sociopath, and there's like a I
don't think so.
Okay. Because good level-headed people don't just take LSD and fucking trip out. You just don't. You know what I mean? There's still like,
yeah.
So I feel like that's part. I'm not saying that's exactly it, but I'm gonna put 51% that's what's going on. Is that dude really does have some fucking real problems, and it just all finally came out.
Yeah.
Or people wouldn't fucking stop talking to each other, and he just couldn't take it anymore.
I'm just, like I said when we talked about it before, I feel like there was a point that I kind of just for 3 seconds crossed into, okay, everything around me now is no longer real. That we're not in the real world anymore. So I think that's probably what happened to him, and he felt like, you know, there's no consequences because I'm now fighting fucking aliens at this point. 4 hits is a lot of hits. 1 hit can be a lot of hits. Yeah. So, I don't know. But that's fucking insanity. And it's kind of crazy that it happened in the area where they filmed a fucking Hitchcock movie.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts, I feel like I could be that guy.
We have a friend. I won't drop any names, but I'll fucking tell the story. But we have a friend from Sandpoint that went on a fucking acid bender for a long time, like for a few months, like just was doing acid every day and was losing his goddamn mind. And he's young, and he fucking hitchhiked took off with a group of people down to California when he was pretty young, and just took off and fucking was on this crazy drug-fueled fucking bender. And do you know who I'm talking about? Do you know who this is? And no. He fucking ends up splitting off from this group. He's told me the story, and like, I'm sorry if you don't like this story. I won't say your fucking name, but it's a good fucking story. And so he's down in California on this drug-filled bender, and separates from the group he's with, and like ends up calling his family, and he's like, I'm freaking the fuck out. Like, my life's like falling apart. Like, please come help me. You know what I mean? And so I think it was his dad and his brother fly down to, I believe it was in Oakland, fly down to the Oakland airport. It was either Oakland, San Francisco. I don't know. I believe it was Oakland. And, which I think that's the same airport. I think they both use the same airport, San Francisco and Oakland. They're right next to each other. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I think if you're in San Francisco, you drive over to Oakland to fly out. I think that's how that works.
Okay.
Anyways, I think it was that airport. They fly down to meet him to help him come back. So his family his dad and his brother, I believe that's what it is, fly down there, get him, and then they're in the airport trying to come back to Spokane. And fucking, he says he's with his dad, and they're walking to the airport, and he said he's like losing his, like he's still in this acid filled like drug rant.
Jesus.
Like he's not thinking properly. And he said, what he says is he's walking down the like hallway of this airport and sees an exit sign. And he just like, he said, he's like in his head, like freaking out, and he sees the exit sign. And he's just like, he thought that it was like, he needs to get out of the situation. And so he sees the exit sign. He's like, exit, exit. And he just goes through the exit door. And he just said he like left his family, like just walked away and just fucking went through the exit door. Cause he's like, said something like he was like, he's like, I'm in a situation. I'm in a situation. He's like freaking out in the airport. And he's like, I need an exit. I need an exit. And then he sees an exit sign. He's like, there's an exit. I'm going through. This is going to get me out of this situation. And he goes through this exit sign and somehow ends up inside the airport, like in the fucking tarmac. And he's like, and then I think he steals a fucking trolley car or some shit like that, like shuts down the entire fucking airport, like shuts them the fuck down. And then ends up jumping the fence, gets away, steals a car, and then fucking drives down. I think he steals another car in San Francisco, and then finally gets, I think one of the cars was like in front of a police station or something like that. And then fucking ends up getting caught. And yeah, gets a fucking shitloads of charges. And fucking shut down a fucking airport all high on acid.
Dude.
Yeah.
So dangerous.
Yeah. That's what acid can do to you, I guess. I think it was more just prolonged acid use for a month long. You really do start like, you don't even know what real is anymore. There's no like baseline. Dude. Your baseline is fucking La La Land.
Yeah, I know. It could have happened to me. Imagine that guy is on an airplane, sees a fucking exit sign. That makes me scared to fly.
Oh my God, I never even thought about that.
Yeah, thank God he's just in an airport. He's like working the door on the plane and people are like, oh my God.
I would I would beat the shit out of someone if they start opening an exit on a fucking plane. I'd freak the fuck out.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that'd be terrifying. That would be terrifying.
Oh my God. Yeah. Thank God he freaked out before he got on the fucking plane.
I never thought about that. That's a good point. Oh, that'd be terrifying.
Yeah. Erick and Brad Show, episode 34. Do you have anything else?
A weird thought. I don't know. I don't know if this is a good thought or not. I guess we'll dissect it and see if you. But I was having this thought. It's like kind of a construction thought, but I think it applies to a lot of different trades or a lot of different. Back in the day. I guess kind of is just construction, but I think it applies to a lot of things. Like if you wanted to learn something, you had to you couldn't just Google it. You know what I mean? You couldn't just YouTube how to do something. You had to go through like an apprenticeship program. You had to learn like so many skills and retain those skills, and you couldn't just cheat your way through shit. And I wonder, is it a good thing or a bad thing? Because someone at my work like talked shit on me a few months ago, and it was an old guy. Like it was just through the grapevine. They're just like, oh yeah, motherfucker won't stop looking shit up online. You know what I mean? And it's like, I think I'm pretty knowledgeable, but there's definitely things where why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you just Google how that works? You know what I mean? And figure it out real quick. And there's like a lot of things that happen in construction where like old guys are just behind the times with like electronics, and you can like beat the shit out of them because you understand how fucking Google works. You know what I mean? And they just don't. And so it's like where they've spent 20 years learning something or like memorize. Like I find it a lot in like memorizing like sizes for shit or like how they're like relative to each other. Like let's say the easy one, like nuts and bolts. Like if you have a 1/2 inch nut, like what's going to be, or a 1/2 inch like thread, what's going to be your nut size? This is a real easy example. You know what I mean? Right. And like a lot of older guys, they had to straight up and like, whatever, you should know these conversions. You know what I mean? Like, okay, if it's a 1/2 inch bolt, what size is your nut going to be? Blah, 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 throughout and throughout. And it's like, they look at that. And if you like Google that real quick and look it up, well, technically where does the knowledge like actually help you? You know what I mean? Like, well, it's always going to be online for the most part, as long as you know what I mean? Like, are we real pieces of shit? Cause I do it quite a bit. Is like, so the other day, I'm at work and we're faced with this situation to where this happens a bit to where our plans,
Are you still on the boat?
Yeah, here and there. Yeah. So, but we're inside this room, And we're trying to figure out our plans. There's this crane attached to the side of this room. It's to pick stuff and put it on a boat to get it out because they built this fucking crane. It's not like a crane. It's just a fucking tower with a fucking crane with a controller you can use just in, out, up, down type thing. And fucking there's these two arms that go through that attach to the dam that like stabilize the fucking crane. Well, we got to demo them and put new brackets in because we're tearing out this wall. Anyways, all they gave us on the plans was they gave us the angle, and like that's it. All they gave us was the angle of these brackets. They didn't give us elevation. They didn't give us, and a lot of prints, you can be a pretty fucking dumb person and just understand it. You just fucking look at your piece of paper. It's going to tell you exactly how far over here you need to put this, how far down. You know what I mean? Everything's already on the plans. The engineers have already, all that shit. Pretty much all the hard shit's been taken out of it. You just got to be an idiot that just pulls out your tape measure, bam, bam, makes a mark. You put that fucking there. You don't have to really do any math. You know what I mean? Well, so they gave us all it was the angle. And we got to figure out where to put these fucking brackets at. And so I'm like, okay, well, if I measure the distance from the crane, which is already there, to the wall, I have one number now. So now I have a number and I have the angle. Well, how do I figure out the other number? You know, how far down, you know, you have A, B, C, I got A and I got an angle. How do I find B? You know what I mean? And it was like, I don't remember this. They taught this in math, but I don't fucking remember it. You know what I mean? And then so I just Google that shit, watch a YouTube video, and they taught me how to do the math. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, sweet. And I fucking did it. And like, no one else, like the fucking boss was fucking lost. He didn't know what to do. And I like did that. But then I'm thinking about it and I'm like, this is making me dumber. I'm like thinking about the dam and I'm like, they built this shit in 1920. They had to do some like extensive math to figure a lot of this shit out. You know what I mean? Without the help of lasers, without the help of fucking calculators. You know what I mean? They just had to do all this shit. And I'm more of an idiot for using my phone to guide me through this shit than actually like learn. You know, are you? You know, that was the whole thought process. It's more like a question. It's like, where's the line between, are you smarter for understanding how to manipulate, you know, YouTube and shit like that to figure problems out? Or are you dumber because you're relying on fucking YouTube videos to get you through a lot of shit? And it's not like I'm always doing it, but I know that no 60-year-old dude in my company, when faced with the same dilemma, does what I just did. You know what I mean? Like, they need to know how to do the math or figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. God, that's fucking craziness.
Do you run into that?
Like,
I'm sure you Google shit, right? Like, that's a millennial thing to do. Is like you run into a problem at work, you Google your way out of it. You're just like, I don't know how this product works. I don't know how this is. Well, I
definitely have. I don't do it like on a daily basis.
I don't either, but I probably do it
like if
once a week or something like that. If there's a new product out, I'm gonna watch a YouTube video real quick and see how this product works. Or
it's like when you show up to your first day of work, what do they have you do? They have you shadow somebody, right, and watch how they work. Mm-hmm. And it's like it's because it's quicker. I mean, when I showed up on my first day to work at the place where I built airplanes, could they just tell me to just Google stuff? Probably. But I think it's going to take a shitload of time longer for me to get anything done than it is just watch somebody do it.
Totes my goats, but
so
yeah, okay.
You need someone to retain some sort of information still.
Okay.
That's why those old guys come in handy.
Okay, but I don't even know really what I'm asking, but it's just like it's this new form of going through. Like back in the day, you had to have a person go through extensive like mathematics to like get all this shit figured out. You know what I mean? And they had to gone to college and like gotten multiple, you know, blah blah blah, and then they need to retain all these formulas. You know what I mean? That needs to be in their head. Where it's like, dude, the only fucking formula I remember that I use it all the time is a squared plus b squared equals c squared, Pythagorean theorem. Use it all the time. It's like the most basic one that always comes up in construction because it's just finding square shit. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's the only formula I remember, like at all. Like I don't remember any of that shit. I remember like basic principles of math. I've always been decent at math, but it's like, if you ask me fucking, yeah, like find the area of a fucking circle. I'd be like, dude, I honestly don't remember. You know what I mean? I don't remember that. Where it's like,
Yeah.
but then also, then this argument, this thought also plays into another thought is it really makes me irritated when I hear people, and I guess it's only because I do construction, but I see it in life all the time, like so many different things. It's like, why is math considered like so many? You hear that from so many people is, I'm never going to use this in my life. Why am I learning it? And it's like,
Yeah.
I totally disagree. It's like, what are you talking about? You're never going to use this? Like, I don't know. I feel the exact opposite. Like, I find a lot of shit people value. Like, I'm never going to use that shit. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. But I guess it's really because of my trade. But I feel like people that don't apply, like, I mean, what about cooking and shit? You know what I mean? I guess it's, you're not going to figure out, the circumference, blah, 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 blah. It's going to be more just like basic math and fractions. But it's like, what, you're never going to fucking try to build something? You know what I mean? And like, and I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Or like, I don't use math that much at all. Like, not even on a daily basis, I feel like. But I always use it when I'm thinking about crypto or stocks or my finances or investing or watching charts and stuff like that. I feel like I use it. Are you frozen again?
No, I can sit really
Jesus
still.
Christ. I don't know. I use it for that. It's like I don't think people would be able to like figure out how to do a podcast if they didn't have Google. But it's like people learned how to like record music, I think, and like DJ and stuff like that without the internet.
Yeah.
I don't know. You still need people to retain stuff. It's like, would you hire the guy who's been doing construction for 20 years or the guy who's a master Googler? He's a master of Googling things.
Well, that's
like
what I mean is experience. Like, I guess weird. There's a fucking line there, though. It's like,
yeah,
there's a line to where it's like, dude, I'm more effective. I'm more effective than this fucking dude. He can't possibly know. Okay, and then like,
just because you can learn on the fly.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he can't possibly retain all this information, and then also,
right.
Also, it's like, dude, in construction, new products are coming out fucking daily. You know what I mean? Shit changes on a fucking daily basis, and it's like, he's got a trial by error, and it's like, I can watch a YouTube video and someone's going to be explaining the product. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is how you use this product, like blah, 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 blah. And then I come in the next day and I'm like, oh, no, that's not how you do, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Yeah. It's just a weird.
But then what you're going to do is you can show somebody else. Yeah. If you're just like, hey, put this fucking thing up here and make the line, da-da-da.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it's just an interesting thing, and it's very prevalent in construction is like, and I guess it's really in my head because an older guy like made fun of me for it. He's just like, oh, you just Google his way through it, YouTube his way through it, like blah 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 blah. And it hurt my feelings because I'm like, dude, I don't use it that much. You know what I mean? I was like, I know what I'm doing. It's just like, yeah, but why wouldn't you Google something? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you fucking see someone else's struggle before you fucking start struggling with it?
Yeah.
But I mean, like, as far as mechanic shit, fucking dude, if I got to do something in my car, I'm watching a fucking YouTube video on it. And is that like good or is that bad? You know what I mean? Like, I guess good. Each side of it has a positive and a negative. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I think it's good to have, but yeah, it's like teachers just saying, you're not going to always have a calculator with you.
And now we have calculators on us all the time.
Yeah. But I still think it's good to be able to, like, if I have to do something around the house, I can just YouTube it, which happens so much, or it happens so much with any kind of technical thing on computers. Like, just today, like, what format, why is my TV not detecting this thumb drive? What format does my thumb drive need to be? I can just Google, what format does the thumb drive need to be for my TV to detect it? Then I find it, then I can do it, and it's better. It's good to have that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and if you didn't have that, your TV wouldn't be working right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So if you take that away, you do end up with a bunch of people who can't survive, I think, to a certain point. Because it's like, a lot of people could, like Boy Scouts or whatever, could like build a fire and hunt for this and that when all they have is a piece of fucking string. And if you take that ability to research away, you're going to have a bunch of people that don't really know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So that is a bad thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you could still be proficient at your job without it.
Yeah. But I mean,
it's just a shortcut. It's a bit of a shortcut.
Yeah, but it's like, is that it's good in the moment, but is it bad over time? Is it bad over time because you feel like you don't really need to retain certain things? So you don't practice it. You don't like, okay, I need to learn this. I need to learn this formula. You know what I mean? Because one day I'm not going to have my phone on me. You know what I mean? Like, I need to be able to do this. Like, fucking.
Yeah. There's a high dependence on it.
Like,
because then you have people saying that they're getting like jobs that are work from home where they're doing some spreadsheet thing and they get the job and then they Google, how do you fucking build this spreadsheet?
Yeah.
And it's like, they're not experts going in. It's just fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
So long term, it might be bad. It might be really bad.
Yeah.
But in the short term, it's very helpful to get you through the day, get this fucking job done.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just a thought process. I think about kind of often. Either. I don't know what the question is. I don't know what the resolve is. Just a thought process.
For sure.
ErickandBradshow@gmail.com. ErickandBradshow@gmail.com. You hate me on my women talk or, something like that. Write us in. Email us. You got anything left? Are we wrapping this bitch up?
Nope. We'll be back next week. Sorry about all the technical issues. I don't know what happened today, but we fell apart for a little bit. Hopefully it edits out good, and I don't think you missed too much conversation that was interesting. No.
But I think we pulled it back together. Love you guys. Have a good day.
Bye everybody.